All right, so it's podcast two, going into week two. Time to review conference two. I'm back with Abrar, Albert, and Steve again. And I wanted to just start off by asking you guys a question. If you were first overall draft pick, what would you choose? I think Abrar's is pretty obvious, but I want to hear
Yeah.
what the other two have to say.
Uh,
Uh,
Obviously Lele right now. I think it's the best one in the draft.
mine's
We all
pretty
know
obvious
that.
too. Like,
Yeah. We all know all of each other's first
mine
picks.
would be like Tapu Bulu because he's legit my boy. But
Yeah.
like, I don't know. I just love Bulu, so like, I would definitely choose overall.
I think all of us would choose a
It's-
Tapu for sure.
Tapus, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
It really depends on what we want to do, but like,
So we're gonna be.
really good.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was just going to say, obviously my first pick would be Tapu Koko, and I think it is interesting that we all picked Tapu, but I think that's because the Tapus, they're not only so powerful on their own and require such a little support to be on a team, but they also give so much to a team with their terrains and what they can do for each other.
Yeah.
They give really good synergy for sure.
Yeah, true.
Except it must feel bad to be Tapu Fini because it's just it's kind of like the fourth wheel, if that's a thing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do the same thing that we did last time. We're gonna go through the second conference. I guess Honeybee. I'm gonna call it because it's
Or like B
easier.
movie.
The best.
Yeah, like I no longer wish to be alive reviewing this. Um, and I just wanted to elaborate really quick the letter grade system that we did last time. B is going to be a good draft because it's the B season. An A is a great draft. A C is kind of a flawed draft, and a D is just an outright bad draft. And
Ooh.
I personally don't think there's any D drafts, but we'll see moving forward. And do you guys want to just hop right in with Michael?
All right, let's go.
First pick, and like I feel like Aabrar immediate reaction when not even before this pick happened, like when the order was chosen, I just know going through Abrar's head was he had no chance of getting Coco. And I wanted to ask you actually, do you feel worse knowing that it was first picked and like the only way that you might have even had a chance to get it is if you were first? Does that make you feel better or worse? Or like, does it even matter to you, like when it got picked?
Well, to me, I don't like. I always have plans for because I know Coco's a very, very strong first round pick. Um, but so that's the analytical side of me. The inner personal side of me is crying, and it's going to be crying for an entire season because I didn't get my child. So how do I feel about Tapu Koko going first pick? I'm happy that someone sees how crazy of a mon it can be, and I'm upset that I didn't get it.
Yeah, it's definitely worthy of a top 5 pick for sure.
Yeah.
And like, I just wanted to point out, like, now going into the analysis, not only did he get Coco, but he has like the next two picks really
Oh
work
my
well
God.
with Tapu Koko
Yeah.
Filled with me.
It's a full-on rain team.
and Ferrothorn and Pinsir. Like, it's just
Oh my
great. I
God.
like this team
Yeah.
a lot.
And Kabutops is such a value pick. I think it's like C plus for what it does. It's amazing. It SD up and clean up an entire team under rain, especially with his E move as well to break through a check.
Yeah.
Oh, especially with natural gift.
Steve is known for running natural gift. What berry was it?
It was Lancet Berry with flying type.
Yeah, gave it a
that's
flying
sick.
type move. You could have just run X Scissor with a life orb, but anyway.
But it was meme season, dude.
Yeah, it's not as
How I
memes,
feel
you know.
about how I feel about Kabutops. Kabutops is a very special Pokemon on rain teams, being one of the few physical rain sweepers.
Yeah.
Along with access to Sword Stance. It's interesting he made Kabutops his Z captain and not Tapu Koko. I understand that a +2 Hydro Vortex can break through just about anything, but Tapu Koko also provides like half the reason it's such a good first round pick is because of the crazy stuff it can do with Z moves. How do you guys feel about his Z captain choice?
Well, I was gonna ask
Yeah, like I
you,
think
do
it's very
you
cool.
mind maybe sharing a taste of what Coco might be
Oh,
capable of
don't,
with a Z
don't
move?
even start it. Um, there is so much it can do with Z moves. One big, we talked about this last video, but a big issue Rain has is grass types, and people forget this. But Tapu Koko gets Brave Bird, so you can run a physical Z Brave Bird set, and you can completely destroy a Venusaur or a Tangrowth.
Okay. So what do you guys think
Yeah, for
about
sure.
his Z captain choice, as Aabrar asked?
Like
I
I,
like it. Like
yeah,
it's
same.
very good. Like it's especially under rain. Like you said, Hydro Vortex will do a serious amount of damage to anything that wants to stay into it. Even if they let him like set up a +2 SD, then I don't think anything can really stay in on it
Yeah,
with
like
Continental Crush or anything too.
yeah, like even Hydro Vortex. I think Oko Skarmory, it's pretty strong, pretty insane. And I think like even Coco just does enough without a Z move on this team, so you can let Kabutops like focus on being the main breaker for his team. Even though
Yeah,
he
like
has,
I also feel like who does battle him really has to watch out for Kingdra as well, especially after how like I used it last season. Like it's just so strong in rain. It's absolutely crazy. Can do so much.
I think it's really nice how he drafted Ferrothorn to be his primary steel type. Protects him from fire damage under the rain. Pinsir's an interesting mega choice. Like normally people opt for like Scizor or they opt for Swampert, which got taken, but he opted for Pinsir.
well, I
What do you
love
guys
think
feel
that's
about it?
but I like that choice just because, like you said, Rain's biggest weakness is grass types, and Pinsir is the best Pokemon in the game probably to break through a grass type because Stab Air Late just decimates grass types like anything.
like who needs stab moves, right?
Yeah.
So if I were to give this draft a rating, I can see. So I guess since it's a Rain draft, we'd have to think about how well does Rain deal with its weaknesses. And on this team, he does have the means to destroy grass types through Pinsir. He has Honchkrow.
Yeah, and
He
Coco
has
can as
Coco,
well.
which can run things like Nature's Madness. And he has Kabutops, which after a +2, once he reaches +2 with Sword Stance, he can actually one-shot Ferrothorn. Well, he has Ferrothorn. But he can one-shot some grass types with Hydro Vortex. So if I were to give this draft a rating, I would give it I'd give it a B plus because it doesn't excel at destroying what Rain is weak to, but it can do the job and it's very good at it. So it's an overall good Rain team.
Yeah, I would actually give it the same mark, B plus, because like Aabrar said, it has the tools to. It just depends on how well Michael plays the team. So I have pretty high expectations actually going into his first season.
Oh, I want before Steve gives his rating, I just remembered one last thing. Not only did he snipe Abrar, he also sniped Steve with the Kingdra. And like Steve got the Pelipper, and
Legit
then
my
like
draft plan too.
he's feeling good, and then Michael just surprises everyone with the wheel pick of Polytoad Kingdra, which is kind of similar to Jeff's Pelipper Kingdra wheel pick in the other conference. But yeah, that was also hilarious. I wasn't in the Discord, so I didn't hear Steve's reaction, but
Yeah, I
it was
was actually
probably.
so mad. Like, I was like, I feel like screaming at it. I was
Do
like,
you have,
no,
Yeah, I
so
feel that.
Steve,
anger
do you have
yourself. I
a
was like, it was good though. Like, good on him for sniping more than one person at it. But like,
Steve? What's your
it's
rating?
like
Do you
they were
have a
both.
rating?
I would give it a B because like I just find because it's such an OU based team. Like, figure out okay, well, damn, we can. It's kind of like similar cores and like Coco, Kingdra, Ferrothorn, and all that, and you can kind of understand what their weaknesses are if you just look at a simple Rain OU team. So I'm just like, for me, you know.
I see. And that's another thing. Like, I don't know if anyone noticed, but last video, I actually did not rate anyone's team. I just let you guys do the rating and be the bad guys of maybe like some people were not happy with their ratings or something. I don't know, but I did not want to rate anyone. I actually was next to Lucas when he was drafting for a lot of the time, and he got Kadabra, I guess, because he was in. I might have inspired him, but he got Bennett Mega, which is I think the first time in draft history someone's got Bennett Mega. Maybe once before, I'm not sure, but like that's pretty wild. What do you guys think of this team?
I'll let Aabrar explain Bennett Mega.
So what I can say is I think Bayonet is a very underrated mega.
Yeah.
I think it was C+ tier, or was it C? It was a very cheap mega.
Yeah, it was C tier.
I think if you take one quick look at Bayonet's ability, which is Prankster when it develops, and then you take a look at its move pool, and you will actually be surprised how much this gets. It gets Wisp, Toxic, and T-Wave. It gets Taunt, gets Destiny Bond, the only Pokemon in the game with Prankster Destiny Bond, which lets it blanket check so much setup. It has Protect Disable, so you can scout a move and then use a Prankster Disable. It has access to Cotton Guard, Calm Mind, so it has Prankster Setup, Pain Split. It has so many options. How do I see this fit with the rest of his team? He has 2 really good pivots in Infernape and Thundurus, which
really
lets him bring in wall breakers like Metagross and Bayonet with a 165 base attack.
Mm-hmm.
I think those aspects are really good. What else do you guys see in this?
I think like he also has a very, very good Wish Passer in Umbreon.
Yes.
Like it's such a good, Wish Passer cleric for if his, Metagross ever gets burned, you can just switch an Umbreon and heal it off. Like anything that happens to him, he can just really rely on Umbreon.
Yeah, Umbreon's consistently underrated. It's so hard to break that thing without like
it's very
strong
hard to
fairy.
deal with. Like its defenses are so good, and it really does what it does really well.
I think Metagross is really gonna appreciate Wish Pass because it can take a hit on the switch in and then get it all back. Like so, I think out of all the mons, that's probably the one that is gonna benefit the most from it.
And I feel like any mon he wants to use
really
at
appreciate
like a light core mon, like Infernape or Thundy.
Yeah, Thundy.
Then like it would be really good. Getting the health back from any wish that Umbreon passes over, because then you can just start mons even more, and it's really good.
Yeah, this is another example of a draft without any S tier. So what do you guys think of that?
I'm a believer of no S tiers personally.
Yeah, like definitely a team that doesn't need S tiers on it to make it good. Like, definitely has like solid, like I said, he has solid synergies between mons. Like he has, Infernape, Tangrowth, and Seismitoad, which I find are like really good together.
Oh yeah, that's a strong Firewater Grass core as well, right there.
They're really good. I find like I'm kind of repeating myself, but
yeah.
It's really hard unpredictability.
Your mic is breaking up, by the way. We can't hear you.
You sound really muffled.
Is that better?
Yeah, much better.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so a big thing I see in this team is unpredictability. Infernape, Tangrowth, Metagross, Thundurus Incarnate, and Bayonet all have wildly unpredictable movesets. Claydol has access to things like Rocks, Rapid Spin, and even Screens. Kadabra, it's a very unpredictable mon. You don't know what to expect from it. There's a lot of unpredictability in this roster, and I think in the team building aspect before a game, he will often have a significant advantage in being so unpredictable.
Yeah, I feel like Kadabra can also be a really valuable pick if he really knows how to use it. Because people would be like, oh yeah, he's not going to bring Kadabra, and then they don't prep for it, and he brings it, and it's like, oh damn, well,
it's got 100. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, like it's
surprisingly good.
Really good, like 120, 105 speed, like that's crazy.
I've been playing with it a little bit, and if you can outspeed things, like if you know it's gonna outspeed a decent amount of Pokemon on the enemy's team, then a spec set is definitely pretty viable on it with 120 special attack.
I feel like it can be kind of like a special version of Sneasel.
Yeah.
Like, because both of them are very strong, and you can even do like does it get Magic Guard too?
Yeah, it does.
Magic Guard Life Orb, and just do crazy damage. And like, it's very something anyone has to prepare for. I find.
Yeah. I like the fact that it sits in 105 speed here because it outspeeds like the base 100s, like Salamence, even Lele, Landorus. I know there's no Landorus in draft, but just for example's sake, it speed ties its Pinsir as well.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
I love it. I love that pick.
Yeah, for an NFE, it gets amazing value.
Very valuable.
Do you guys want to give a rating? What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think I can start. I really like the unpredictability in this team. Not having the S rank kind of hurts it, but like it still makes do without it. So a lot of really nice synergies. Claydol has access to things like screens. Infernape and Thunderous form a really nice momentum core. He has a good backbone. I don't see any like immediate flaw with the team. He has so much type synergy and role coverage. I'm willing to give this draft a B plus as well because nothing except is like super exceptional about the team, but it's very well crafted roster. There's a lot of very nice synergy, and I think that when played right, this will take them very far.
Yeah, I would give it a B, just because like I think it's like the quintessential draft. Basically, I don't want to say basic, but like if you're looking for like an average draft roster, this is it. It's got Firewater Grass cores. It's got like different roles. It's got a pretty unpredictable mega, like Aabrar said. I don't see any glaring weaknesses with
and like
it.
a wide range of tiers as well.
Yeah, it goes through all the tiers. It's not like min-max team. Yeah, I think it's just good, you know? It's nothing. It's not like exceptional, but I think it's not like bad either. So,
it's going to be a very consistent draft from what I see.
Yeah. Like, I gave it a B as well. This again, because like, it definitely does have that unpredictable factor of it. Like every mon, you don't know what it's going to do. Well, bar like Umbreon or whatever, but like what some mons can do for really give it an honest like I said, Mega Bennett hasn't really been seen before, so we don't know how it's going to do. But like I said, like I do give it a respectable B because it's a great team. Just I'd like to see how it plays out.
I want to say before moving on, actually, he actually wanted to draft Thunderous Therian, but he got the two mixed up. So that's kind of a funny story. I believe one is like 5 points more, and like he didn't notice that he got the wrong one until he tried to draft something that like he couldn't afford or something. I don't know, but it was a funny thing when it happened. We can move on to the next team. Abhijit, sorry if I said your name wrong. I actually don't know how to pronounce it, but Mew just right away just jumps off the page because it's so. I think Mew is the best draft mon, like of the entire draft. It's just so versatile. It's just so good, and like if you have Empoleon as a defogger, for example, like the options on Mew are like limitless because defog is seemingly like the most typical set on Mew, but Empoleon is such a good mon that you're probably always gonna bring it, and you're probably always gonna put defog on it. So like that leaves so many options for Mew, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that just because it doesn't lock Mew into the defog set, like you said, right? And I like the offensive threats on his team, like Metacham and Tornadus. Those are huge threats, both of them. And he has like pivots, I want to say, like Florges and Empoleon Mew to get them safely in. And Tornadus can even pivot with U-turn.
Yeah.
Sorry if that doesn't make any sense, but it's just how I see it.
I find there's like something that he could do with this team because like there's a good like having Mew as a Z captain, you can always use that like at Mew Z move, whatever it is, the
Genesis Supernova, yeah.
From like Metacham. Be absolutely scary. Like just having a huge power Metacham with Zen Headbutt and Frame will absolutely destroy lives. Like hell of that. But like I think find like his team is great defensively. Agris are very great like special physical walls. And really be good all together. And then Patrice, which is lit.
Yeah. Aabrar, I think your mic is like
Something that's
acting
really
up.
nice is
Yeah, it's muffled again.
that better?
A little
A
bit.
little bit, yeah.
That's
Keep
good.
trying that.
Okay, let me just try to fix it.
That's good.
Is that better?
No, it got worse again. Oh man.
Just 1 second. I'll reconnect.
Okay. Lipard is a mon that I haven't really seen in draft before, and I really wanted to pick it up last season, but it turned out I couldn't afford it. I just think any prankster mon is just good and annoying to play against because it's just you're guaranteed to just do something no matter what. Like you can pretty much always, unless you obviously your opponent has priority or something, but like you're guaranteed to maybe get like a T-wave off, a taunt off, toxic, whatever. Like it's just so useful.
Yeah, just looking
That's
at
better?
it,
Sorry.
much better. Like it gets taunt and Thunderwave as it's two big prankster moves, but they also can run a Torment, Toxic, and Yawn. It's viable. I think the only thing, and it's got a good speed here as well. 106 is pretty good and notably outspeeds Pinsir. So
I want to hear what Aabrar has to say about this draft.
Some really nice things about the team is how many ways he can just U-turn. He has a slope. He can run Mew as a slow pivot. He can run Tornadus, Excelgor's fast pivots. What else? Copagrigus is a very interesting and cool pick. You can run it defensively. You can also run it offensively with Trick Room and Nasty Plot. That's a really cool set. And there's a lot of really good ways for him to grab momentum, set up hazards, remove hazards. He's really good roll compression on his team.
Yeah.
Some of the mons are a bit passive, like Florges, Napoleon. But I think he has so much offensive presence with Tornadus and Medicham that he can get away with it.
Yeah, and also you can run stuff like Mew and Napoleon and Flourishes as offensive threats with like Calm Mind or like Double Dance Mew. I think he brought Double Dance Mew once. So it shows that, it can easily be an offensive threat as well.
Yeah.
Like I find even a like choice specs Florges set is a thing as well. Like I remember using that a few times myself, and like its special attack stats respectable. Like, I think it's like 112 or 113, something like that.
It's 112.
Yeah.
Hard with the specs Moonblast. And I found like just so good at either like hitting hard or just completely walling everything.
Yeah.
Great value mod.
Yeah. And it's also a great supportive one. I know we've touched on that before, but
what
you cannot Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna ask, what do you think your letter grades are for this team?
For me, I find like I'd give this a B plus. Because like just the thought of what this team can do. I find like he has very good offensive and defensive threats that are actually shown, and like I don't know. I just feel like this team, like B plus is a good letter grade.
It's a good mix of just Pokemon, special attackers, physical attackers, especially defensive, physically defensive. It's just a good mix of Pokemon. Albert, what do you think?
Yeah. Since it's the conference of Bs, I'll also give it a B plus. I think it has the potential to go far as well, if he plays well, and it's got a good mix, like Steve said, just great offensive mons, defensive mons, hazard removal, hazard control, speed control. It's just got everything a draft wants, I think.
Aabrar, are you with us still?
I agree with Steve. Yeah, I agree with Steve and Albert. This has some really nice cores that blend together nicely. It's an offensive core of U-turn plus wall breaker. He has really nice hazard setters and removers. He has a cleric. He has all sorts of setup. I really like this team. He hits all sorts of speed tiers too. Like he gets a nice blend of everything in terms of speed control. I really like this roster. I would give it a B plus. Nothing like super exceptional, but it's a really nice. As Albert said, it's everything you want in a draft. It's really good.
Yeah.
All right. So next we have the first of the 3 co-hosts here's teams, which is great because maybe Albert can give a little bit of insight of his decision making, just a little bit maybe. Like you first chose Celesteela and then Latias Mega, and then just talk about your team in general. I'm interested.
So okay, I built this team to be as annoying as possible to play versus.
Thanks.
Pretty much the only reason I picked. Like I built Celesteela, Latias, and Sylveon. It's just this fat Fairy Dragon Steel Core. Marowak is a great wall breaker, gets Stealth Rocks up, and it pairs really well with Celesteela. Rotom, I don't like. I was trying to get Flygon. I ran out of points.
Yeah, we should trade it again.
Yeah, but I don't like Rotom. But at the same time, it's a pretty good pivot. It lets me get stuff in like a Lola Mola, Marowak, Latias. Sneasel I use as a Pursuit Trapper. Kangaskhan I only picked up because it has a base HP of 100 plus and it gets Wish. That's the only reason I picked it up.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just lastly, Vulpix. It's just a meme. I'm trying to convince people it's good. It's obviously not, but you know.
I mean, you did that last season with
Darumaka.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say Frogadier and.
Well, you're calling Frogadier bad?
No, but like you proved that was kind of usable. I guess it did make that one comeback, right?
Yeah,
but
it was close.
I actually did a similar thing last season when I was looking at pickups. I was looking at D- Pokemon with Wish and like decent HP stat, and I saw Kangaskhan, but I'm pretty sure Licky Licky is D- or Lickitung or something like that. Like
Licky Licky is also D-.
That was probably a better pick, wouldn't you say?
I don't like Licky Licky as much, just personally.
Its design is awful. It's probably the worst design Pokemon.
How dare you? I think it's beautiful.
Okay,
but I want to hear what you guys think about it, though.
Yeah.
Because it's my draft. I'm going to be biased.
Okay. So you want to know what I think? I think
go ahead.
this draft is absolutely, phenomenally disgusting. If you look at the first 5 picks, which have such insanely good type and like roll coverage and like there's so much synergy, like how do you break this?
You know how you break it with a Alolan Marowak? Oh wait.
Wait. The stall breaker is on the stall player's team. Like Marowak Lola's Lightning Rod is so clutch here with Celesteela. Like those two have perfect type synergy right there. They need more fast stuff like Latias.
Spammable Wish, like oh my god.
Double Wish Pass with Sylveon and Alomomola. You can also run Sylveon offensively with Specs, which more people should do. Like Latias is so unpredictable in the Mega form because it gets things like Calm Mind, but the Calm Mind sets there's like 10 million of them. You can run Bolt Beam, you can run Reflect type to not get Pursuit Trap because you become a Dark type when you copy Tyranitar or like Weavile. Like you can set up on Ferrothorn because you turn into Grass Steel type. Stored Power. You can even run like a 3 attacks Roost set. Why am I giving you all this tech? Why am I giving this all to you? I have to. But like you can run a 3 attacks plus Roost set with Bolt Beam and Hidden Power Fire. Like there's so much Latias Mega can do. Like the first 5 picks alone are absolutely crazy.
Speaking of the physical endeavor, Sneasel's on this team. Yeah.
Hey.
And there it is, the boy. Sneasel's awesome. I love Sneasel.
Sneasel is a really it's a really good value pick. Pursuit Trapper, Vile, or Tyranitar.
So hard. Oh my god.
Yeah. And also just like Ice type stab is really good in draft.
Yeah, it's very good offensively, for sure.
I think so, yeah.
I think physical fire type attacks are possibly the best offensive attacks in draft, in my opinion. Physical fire is so hard to wall, or maybe I just draft teams that like just always get bonked by it, and
it's because the coverage they got.
Yeah. So like Marowak, I should probably try Marowak one of these times, but yeah, that's just my opinion on.
Like I assume you're talking also about like Victini and stuff.
Well, yeah, like I know I got bopped by Darmanitan in playoffs 2 seasons ago by Steve. I know I've been a huge advocate of Embor in the past, and he bonks stuff. So yeah, like Marowak, Alolan, like kind of reminds me of my team how I have Sharpedo. Like it's that one mon that just is gonna
cleaner.
Well, I don't know. Marowak's a lot slower, but it's gonna be breaking walls hopefully.
Yeah, when it gets in, something dies or something loses like half its health.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the nice part about
Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, but the nice part is that once it loses half its health, I can just heal right back up with a Lola Mola. And it's got great type synergy with the Lola Mola as well.
It does.
Electric and grass, both types that Marowak resists.
I was just going to say real quick that me and Albert have scrimmed a handful of times, and if you know my team, it's really stally and bulky as well. The wish passing was like negative factor. Like it did not matter in that matchup at all. Like we were not doing any damage to each other. We were just like pivoting around, and it was pretty funny to watch.
Yeah, good
This
times.
would be very exciting. A very exciting roster.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for Vulpix.
Ooh.
I just want to see it put work.
Yeah, I'll try to run Vulpix at least once.
That'd be lit.
Yeah.
I'm so excited, yeah.
All right, Albert, if I could give this a rating to you,
Yeah. C-.
I'm going to start by saying this is what you call a stall draft. This is like really stall heavy with offensive pressure. It excels at stalling. It covers everything so nicely, but at the same time, it has offensive pressure. If you want to turn up the heat, like you can run offensive Celesteela, which I know you don't believe in. Latios can be offensive. Marowak is obviously offensive. Like half your team can run offensive if need be, or it can just switch over to hard stall. Like
Dude, Spec
prepping for this team
Sylveon
is
is
nightmarish.
crazy.
Yeah, it is. Specs Pixelate's ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
it
yeah,
does
continue,
tons of
Aabrar.
damage.
Continue, Aabrar. I just wanted to like insert that as well.
I think this draft is honestly worthy of A.
Thank you,
Yeah,
I appreciate
because
that.
I
of
agree
how
with that.
exceptional it can be offensive or stallish, and it has so much roll compression in every single mon. Like it's hard to find a better draft than this.
Thank you.
I
That warms
feel
my
blessed.
heart.
as well. Yeah.
I know I said I wasn't rating, but since Albert can't really rate his own team
Yeah,
unless he
I'm gonna
really
abstain.
wants to,
I will abstain. Okay.
I would also give it an A personally. What about you, Steve?
Yeah, like I really think it's definitely probably one of the only teams that really deserves the A rating. Like every single mon covers each other so well, and like the amount of defensive and offensive synergy it all has, like it's gonna be really hard for anyone to beat it. And especially since it's drafted solely to annoy everyone, so like, which is gonna be even better for us.
Yeah, I'm
But
sorry,
yeah,
guys.
A for sure.
Thank you, I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Warms my heart.
So I think this is probably the best draft that we've talked about so far, at least ratings wise. So Scott has a tough act to follow. Let's see what his team is.
Yeah,
And he has Clefable Magnezone. That's an interesting core.
I like that. I wish he got a Dragon type though, because it would have completed his FDS core very nicely. But he did not.
Maybe
You know,
because Z might happen is interesting too.
It's an interesting Z captain, yeah.
Yeah.
I look at the rest of his team and almost wonder, how did he spend all his points?
Yeah,
Like,
I looked at it. Like, where do all the points go?
He has a 10 mon roster, if that helps.
True.
Yeah, he's one of the only 10 mon rosters in draft, I think.
That's an interesting team.
Yeah, a couple things he has. He has a really glaring ground weakness.
Yeah.
Nothing on his team at all enjoys handling ground type attackers as a whole. Like, there's nothing on his team is bulky enough to handle this kind of stuff. Roll compression, like he has hazard setters. Like, Clefable is kind of his only rock setter. I
Yeah,
believe.
it is, right? Yeah. Unless Zatu's magic bounce counts.
That really sucks.
Does Credilli get rocks?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it
gets
does.
rocks too. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like Cradily, it's really strapped for moves. So is Clefable.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
These are two mons that are both very strapped for their moveset.
True.
Magnezone, I'm trying to see what does it actually do for the team. Like we saw in the other conference, Ryan, I believe, had Magnezone.
Yeah.
He had like 3 knockoff users. Like they really appreciated removing steel types with Magnezone, but I don't see how it fits in here.
I can kind of
there's
see
not a lot of
Magnus-
synergy between teammates that I see.
Yeah, because
like,
I find like in the team really hinders like a lot of his Pokemon. Because then like Magnezone will have like really crippling fire weakness. Turn like your wired moves will be weekend and all that. Like, just I really think that just that 1 month itself. Hopefully, he knows not to run droughts sometimes. Just not like maybe he could do it. Like, put it to good use. You never know, but like at this point, I just don't think it's gonna.
Sorry, I just want to talk about the Magnezone pick one last time. I can kind of see how it could work if he stacks like Toxic Spikes and then uses Magnezones to remove Steel types in order for Clef to win. But like other than that, I don't really see how it fits into this draft, right? Because like I can understand if he was running like 2 Dragon types for Dragon Spam Core, but like he's not.
Right.
It's just Magnezone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it doesn't really trap much that's relevant for the team.
I actually drafted these first 2 picks are my exact first 2 picks of season 3. I chose Clefable Magnezone because I was like, oh, that's a cool core. Magnezone can trap Steel type, so Clefable can spam Moonblast more or something like that, and it takes Poison and Steel type moves for Clefable. But yeah, that's pretty much all it really does. It only supports Clefable, really. Nothing else really struggles with Steel types, really. Or gets walled by Steel types.
Like, you can make an argument for, Cryogonal gets walled by Steel types, but it's Cryogonal, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Not exactly relevant.
You're not going to run it offensively too much. You're going to run it for the support it can give for a team, like Screens, Rapid Spin, stuff
Aurora
like that.
Veil, that's nice.
What about Pangoro?
Oh, it does get Veil.
Somebody say something about Pangoro, because that mon, it looks so cool, but I don't know anything about it.
It gets Parting Shot, I believe.
It does.
That's a really cool niche.
But
it completes a lot of alternate cores on his team, like with Magnezone.
Yeah,
fair.
Which is decent.
It's pretty decently thick.
The thing is that he has some good pivots, but he doesn't have a wall breaker to like abuse it, or just a wall breaker in general on his team. That I just don't see it.
There's Pangoro maybe, but that's about it.
So I think something he's going to struggle with all season, and this is kind of the worst thing you ever want to struggle with in Pokemon, but he's going to struggle with like killing things. Like, that's an unfortunate thing to say, but he's actually going to struggle with breaking like bulkier teams. Anything with a good amount of bulk, I just don't see much of a way he'll break it. Like, he could try tricking it, maybe. Like, I just don't see much wall breaking potential in his team. There's not much offensive presence.
Just feels like it's so reliant on choice items like Specs, Band. And speaking of choice items, he has no real answer for a Scarf. He has very bad speed control on offense.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're not going to slap
be a bad thing for him.
You're not going to slap a Scarf on a Tentacruel because that's just
dumb. That's not a set.
That's an unset, like you say.
Often bad, but like it's not something you'd really want to use for speed control or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, it'd be good for him just to use that as a really good rapid spinner, but besides that, like, his team is very slow. Like, I don't know how he'll be able to manage that.
Yeah. Like, not trying to be harsh, but I think this is the first draft to deserve a C, I think. Do you guys agree?
There was another one that was C in conference one. It was Jeff's was a C+. That's what I gave it. I don't know if you guys gave it a B- or something.
I think I was nice to give it a B-, but
so yeah, this draft is one that has very glaring flaws. Like a lack of offensive presence, pivots but no wall breakers. He's gonna struggle a lot with breaking things. There is some significant anti-synergy. It's gonna be very difficult for him to break through a lot of the other rosters, especially with how many low tiers he has going up against the other top tier cores. He's going to struggle quite a bit. I'm going to give this roster a C- because of how much it struggles with the rest of the draft.
Yes, I agree with that completely. Yeah. Like, C- is just...
Like, he can turn this around if he picks up more wall breakers and starts really capitalizing on those trade-ins. Like, he has a lot of utility in his roster, but he doesn't have anything that abuses the utility. So I think how he uses his trade-ins and pickups and trading with other players, I think he really can turn this around. He just has to take the effort and the research to do so.
Yeah. Just one last point. I just feel like it's an RU team with Clefable and Magnezone slapped onto it.
Yeah, which brings us back to the beginning. Like, it's almost like where'd the points go? But yeah. Next team we're looking at is my boy Arif. He was so hyped for this team, and I know we weren't going to talk too much about matches that already happened, but after the game with Steve, he was already de-hyped. He was like over draft. No, I'm just kidding. Like he said he was still gonna try, but he was so psyched. He was like, "I'm not losing a game. This draft is the best draft ever," stuff like that. And I was just laughing. It is a good team though, because like Zapdos
It's a really
obviously
good team, yeah.
is my favorite Mon, and Terrakion is a Mon. I'm gonna draft Terrakion next season. I promise you this. It's so good. Like I love it. I love scarfing it.
Yeah.
And we get to see Kyurem for the first time, and I think Primarina's good too. And he's a huge advocate of Necrozma. Like he absolutely loves this Mon because it's so value. It's bulky as like Cresselia almost, and
It has
not
like a
really.
filter-like ability too.
Yeah, that's filter built in. It's
Yeah,
great.
but it is kind of the move pool is not too great. And Houndoom is probably a value mega. What do you guys think of this team?
I think Houndoom, since you're talking about Houndoom, I think it's such a great Mon for the price. Just because Fire type stab is so good, Dark type stab is so good, Speed tier is amazing. For what, like a B- Mon? It's definitely worth it.
It's actually C+.
Oh,
No
really?
way. No, you guys moved it, right? Please tell me you guys.
Well, we might have moved it to B-. Yeah, I could see that.
There's no.
Plus.
Okay, there's no way it's C+, because that'll be criminal to let someone have Houndoom for C+. It's ridiculously good. The first thing I noticed about his team though is like the lack of type cores. Do you guys see that as well? Yeah.
Well, sort of. He lacks the traditional type cores, but he has some very well knit type cores between like duos of Mon instead of trios. Like Zapdos Kyurem, that's double pressure.
Very good core.
So yeah, you might think looking at this team, I'm gonna bring Stone Edge, but you're gonna run out of Stone Edges if he plays this right, and you're not gonna be able to break that core. So be really careful about that.
Yeah,
he has a good
knockoff.
Junaid. Stalling a whole team with pressure Zapdos.
Yeah.
I'd be careful about that. If he gets a sub up with like Kyurem, for example, and he stalls out all your Stone Edges, you're gonna run out of ways to beat Zapdos really quickly.
Yeah.
Terrakion, I think, is a stellar Mon draft. I have no idea why I've never considered drafting this before. It's one of the few Mons in the game that only needs like 2 moves: Stone Edge and Close Combat. That's like all it needs, and the other 2 is filler.
Yeah, you can
Primarina's really solid. Oh yeah, it does get quick attack.
Yeah,
I guess Swords Dance and Rock Polish too.
Yeah, Duo Dance.
I don't like his ground weakness. Like he has Zapdos and Leavanny.
Yes.
Yeah, so his real ground resist is like Zapdos.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. So he's kind of ground weak. He would appreciate like a really good grass type. Like maybe if he got a better grass type.
I'd say Leafeon.
That would really help him.
No, Leavanny is actually pretty good. It doesn't get synthesis, but it does set up Sticky Web for Nidoking, for like Primarina, and Terrakion.
This team really appreciates Sticky Webs.
True.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you're right.
Really, like it's in one of his really good wall breakers, like Nidoking or Terrakion. Like it can really run through people's teams.
Even Licky appreciates stands and things like Explosion and some really crazy coverage.
Yeah. It also gets Wish if you need it. Wait, does it?
Yeah, it
does get Wish.
Okay,
yes.
Good. Yeah. Wish passing is something fat like Kyurem or Terrakion or Primarina is really good. Right?
So yeah, aside from being ground weak, he has really good breakers. Like his team will have no problem breaking through bulky teams.
Like look at his base stat total; it's the best in draft.
You're right, it is.
Yeah, and same with attack, and his special attack is by far the best.
It is number 1.
Insane. Very good offensive pressure.
And it's kind of like misleading even because Nidoking's is only 85, but we all know it's better than 85.
Yeah, sure.
Feels like 150 when you play against it.
Yeah.
I think I want to talk about Necrozma a little bit.
Yeah, dude, please.
Because I feel like it's relatively new. It's a Gen 7 Mon, and a lot of how it's been like when you think about Necrozma, you often see the moveset, the move pool, and you think, oh, it's like utility with TUA rocks. But Necrozma is one of the best abusers of store power because it gets so much setup. Like it can set up speed, has Calm Mind, has Iron Defense. Like it sets up all the relevant stats. And while it does struggle, like it can't beat dark types at all without like Brick Break, but he has the means to destroy dark types with Terrakion and just walling some of them. Like he has the means to deal with them.
Like Terrakion
Cosmo's
across is a good type for.
It is
Sorry,
really good.
Yeah. Especially
No,
got that
it's-
knockoff switching.
Yeah, he does have
And
a fighting
Mega Man.
psychic dark.
Yeah, like dark psychic fighting is really good type for.
Yeah. Oh, I never noticed that.
Yeah, like, that's
Just noticed
so
that.
good. Just noticed it.
Yeah.
It's funny though because Albert said he doesn't have traditional cores, but I mean
Yeah,
technically he
He does
does.
have
noticed
one.
it. Yeah,
He
fighting
has-
dark psychic.
He does have the fire, grass, water core as well, but
Okay, I just didn't count Leafani because it's.
Yeah, don't leave Levani out.
I want
swear to
ratings.
Leafani
Yeah.
disrespect.
Ratings, yeah.
Say B plus, approaching A minus actually.
Yeah.
I actually was about to say that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if
Yeah.
he plays his
It's
cards
like
right, this can
almost
easily.
excelling.
Yeah, he can easily be an A minus draft. It's really solid. He has all the tools for a very strong draft, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
Yeah,
just up to
potential
him.
wise, this has the if he gets a second really good way to deal with ground types, this is an A minus draft because of
Yes.
how it can run, how the bulky cores fit in very nicely with the offensive cores he has. Like this can be an A minus draft if he gets like one more really good way to deal with ground types.
Yeah,
Yeah, hopefully, like what Martin was saying before, that like hopefully Arif isn't like de-hyped from the battle with me.
Yeah.
Because
this is a
like, I
good
still
draft.
think he can put in a lot of work with his team. Like he
Yeah.
has lots of great coverage, and like I think I do like I did give him a B rating myself. I do agree with like the higher rating of a possible A minus because one of those things that his team can be unpredictable with what he wants to do
Yeah. Before
because he
we
has
move
lots of
on,
great
oh, sorry.
non-teams.
Before we move on, I just wanted to pose a question here. He was planning on getting Skarmory instead of Zapdos first pick. Do you guys think he made the right choice with Zapdos instead of Skarmory?
I do.
I think he did.
I think so. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the big reason why I think he did is because his team has offensive and defensive cores. And like it's kind of similar to yours in some aspects, except he's more offensive
Yeah.
than yours. Zapdos, the beautiful thing about it is it can be bulky defensive with Bruise, Defog. It can also be offensive with agility. I think that blend of defense and offense is so nice. And if he had Skarmory, like he'd feel kind of passive. Plus double pressure. Come on, that's
Yeah.
Pressure's so
Yeah.
good.
Also, one last thing, like he doesn't need another stealth rock setter like Skarmory because Terrakion gets rocks already. Necrozma gets rocks already. So, he
So
has
does
options for
Nidoking.
that. Oh yeah, Nidoking does.
and Necrozma.
Yeah, Necrozma, but yeah, he has like good type compression, roll compression in that. So I don't think he needs a force rock setter.
All right, let's move on to the poster boy, my other boy.
Fitzy.
Oh, he has the season mascot, I guess, in Kyurem
Yes.
B.
Kyurem B.
Oh man. Everyone always groans when someone has Kyurem B.
Wonder why. Just want to talk, like, mention first thing. Why is Kieran being not the Z captain?
Wait, what does Snorlax Z even do?
It's,
What does Snorlax
Oh,
do as Z moves?
it has wild coverage, man. Don't sleep on that thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
And also
like-
pulverizing pancake.
Kieran B,
okay.
it's Kieran B. It gets
Yeah.
Z freeze shock.
I was
like,
just
do I-
thinking, like,
or-
with Snorlax, you're gonna be setting up anyways. In I think like 3 of your moves are like a lock usually, and then you just have like one attack.
I disagree. But, like, Snorlax has multiple sets. It has the classic curse set, and it can vary it up. It has a recycle set too, but it has offensive sets. You can run, like, Choice Band. You just run, like, 4 attacks because
Interesting.
coverage. Like, it has
It's not
good,
the worst
it
attack.
has a good
Yeah.
attack
Yeah.
set.
Like, it's good as a Z captain. But, like, when you have Kieran B, I just don't know why you don't make Kieran B
Yeah,
your Z
free
captain.
shock.
Because
Z
You wanna know
free
why,
shock is
guys?
nuts.
Yeah,
it's
go
because
ahead.
Snorlax has pulverizing pancake.
Ah,
Yeah.
Giga Impact.
that's
He
right.
needs to pulverize everyone, man. It's their
And
dominant.
this is the real party season.
Yeah. Just
But
one.
yeah, I think Kieran Black would have been a better Z captain.
I love his team. I just that part boggles me a little bit.
He
One
should have
other-
made the poster boy of draft.
One other thing, I personally think Doublade is the best counter to Kieran B in the game, and he has it on his team. Of course.
Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
It's
He has really good type synergy too between Kieran Black and Klefki. That's a Fairy Dragon Steel core in 2 mons. He has good ways to deal with ground types. Like Blastoise is almost a ground resist because of how bulky it is. Pidgeot's an immunity. Snorlax is, well, he has 2 other immunities in Articuno and Archeops. He has good ways to bring in pivots through U-turn from Pidgeot, or just bulky pivoting with Klefki. Klefki can also set up screens for something like Snorlax or Kieran Black. Oh my god. Kieran Black behind screens.
Klefki is just the ultimate support mon, but with like spikes, screens, foul play, Thunder Wave. Ugh. When you pair that with a breaker like Kieran, like bleh.
Yeah, I always call Klefki the assist queen of draft. It's historically always gotten like 20 plus assists in a season. It just helps out teammates so much.
Yeah.
And he has a lot of things he can support, like Pidgeot, Kieran Black, Snorlax.
Oh god, Snorlax.
Yeah.
Yo, imagine like Snorlax behind screens, like holy, right? It's insane.
Isn't Pidgeot one of your boys at Aabrar?
It is like, yeah. I love Pidgeot so much. People know about it as Hurricane Spam, the mon, because it just doesn't miss because of no guard.
Yeah.
Really fast pivot, but you know, I tried out the work upset and I couldn't get it to work because I played bad against Ethan in season 6. But like, it has stall breaking capabilities as well with work up, roost, or fresh hurricane.
We cut Steve off.
I think it's a good mega.
You were gonna say something, Steve.
I was just saying, like, I even think the defensive core of Mungus and Blastoise are very, very good. And
that's pretty disgusting.
I mean, Amoonguss was masked by Klefki by Annoyance. Like, Amoonguss is definitely, up there on the annoyance scale with Spore and whatnot and Regenerators. So, like, but when you have a Klefki on your team, like, you don't even see the Amoonguss.
Yeah, just one sleep talking every mom, honestly. You're set.
I'm prepared.
You can be set.
I think this is a good team. Like, what do you guys think rating wise?
Honestly, I'd say also high B, approaching an A-, like Arif. It's definitely got lots of strength, especially when you have Kieran B, one of the best wall breakers in the game, right? And it can easily go mixed as well. Great stab. 2 super annoying mons in Amoonguss and Klefki. Doublade is just a great supportive mon as well and can go offensive. Like, the one reason I don't want to give it an A is just because I greatly disagree with the Z-move captain, but it's just me. Like, so much. But yeah, I think it's a solid draft.
I think that's really nice is he drafted a Rapid Spinner and not a Defogger, unless you count Pidgeot, but you just run Rapid Spin on Blastoise. Like, that's really nice because when you have things like Klefki, you don't really want to defog away your own spikes because that's something that's really important, right? Like setting up your spikes and pressuring switch-ins with Kieran Black. So I think that's a really smart choice on his part to draft a spinner instead of a defogger. He has a lot of good bulk on his team, really high defense, special defense stats, and the highest HP out of all the drafts, actually.
Yeah.
So it's a really bulky draft, but it has speed. Something I don't like is how he fails to reach like the really high speed tiers, but he doesn't really have to because he has so much bulk and utility with Klefki. Like, this is a really good draft. If he had a bit more speed and like a faster, like a second fast wall breaker or like fast hard hitting pivot like Coco or something, I would give it an A-. I'm serious. Kieran Black and Coco is a fantastic core.
Yeah, it is. It's just like Coco.
Yeah, I know, classic Aabrar. But yeah, if he had a fast pivot breaker, I would give this A-. For now, it's B+. I'm interested to see what he trades or if he does any like trade-ins and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure. I did only give him a B myself, just because like I'm really noticing the like rock weakness on his team. Like, his team is absolutely fantastic, but just that stealth rock weakness on it, and the only thing you can deal with it is Blastoise. So like if that gets low enough that he can't with it anymore, then I think he'll have a really hard time dealing with the most over centralized move in the game. But yeah, like I said, his team is good. Like he has stuff that covers each other very well, but it's only a B for me for that. Just that sole reason long concept.
Makes sense because it's Car and B, not Car and B plus.
B plus.
And it's B season. I wish Kiram would no longer be alive. Steve is next, and he chose Tapu B.
Yeah, keeping with the theme.
Yeah, keeping with the theme. Ignore the Ulu part. And then he got completely just cock blocked when he chose Pelipper, and then didn't get a Swift Swimmer till his last pick. Or no, is Huntail even a Swift Swimmer? I don't think it is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
it gets Swift Swimmer.
Counts.
All right.
Yeah, but he got like sniped hard.
Yeah,
that was great.
That felt bad.
That was funny.
It was great. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to say something about this. I want to say something about this roster, Steve. This is a really cool idea with Rain. Normally, you see like hyper offense Rain, like throw like 5 breakers and or I guess like 4 breakers, Pelipper, and then like Barrethorn. But this is Rain bulky offense, and I think that's really cool. And I think you drafted a really effective core for it. Pelipper and Bulu, I believe, have perfect type synergy, like right there.
Yeah.
And then you drafted Aggron, and I can't say like how perfectly Aggron fits with those two, because you have 2 fighting resists, you have Rain to cover the fire weakness, and you have Grassy Terrain to cover the ground weakness. Like under all of these things, Aggron has no weaknesses. Like you literally resist fire and ground. We calculated like Infernape was doing like 10% with Flare Blitz under the Rain, like disgusting damage.
I'm pretty sure it is a resist with its ability.
Yeah, with filter,
because the filter it is a resist.
It's actually disgusting.
I love Aggron, yo. It's so cool.
Like I personally don't believe in Aggron, but
I can't believe after this.
I can't help it, dude. It's so good.
Like,
on this roster, it's good.
And it was like the greatest in, but I still love Mega Aggron anyway. But
another really cool pick was Jolteon.
Yeah,
Jolteon was a really good choice for an electric, because people usually anti-lead Pelipper with something with electric moves, and you have Jolteon with Volt Absorb, and you gain momentum with Volt Switch, and just being super fast. Like that's a phenomenal pivot on your end to pick.
Like, okay, people don't run Jolteon in OU because of Tapu Koko, but here Jolteon's great. It's basically discount Koko, right?
There's actually a lot of good electric types in C+. Like, I'm pretty sure Heliolisk is also there, and Magneton as well, in the same tier as Jolteon. Like, I'm surprised those other two, I don't think they got drafted, but yeah, I like Jolteon a lot.
Another really good thing with this team is Manaphy, and Manaphy being the Z captain. Like, Steve, stop drafting all the good stuff on your team, man. Like, now with Manaphy, a big thing people don't realize is because Manaphy is on this roster, he doesn't have to run Damperrock Pelipper every game. He can run Specs now, because now he has 2 potential rain setters.
Yeah.
With Rain Dance Manaphy.
I think Jolteon can set Rain Dance too.
You'd rather run like a pivot set, right? Like it needs those move slots.
Yeah, but like
now if you're free to run Specs Pelipper, and Manaphy is a phenomenal breaker. It beats Venusaur in draft because you can run Shattered Psyche.
Yeah.
One more really specific thing I want to talk about that's just insanely good with this roster is Toxicroak in Rain. With Dry Skin, Toxicroak actually has very essential resistances in a Rain team, resisting fighting and water simultaneously. Well, being immune to water actually.
Yeah.
Because the 2 things that destroy Rain are grass types and really hard-hitting water types. And Toxicroak is a very essential immunity to water moves.
True.
And Huntail's broken.
One thing I want to mention myself is that I find really like the leftovers recovery from, because legit giving Mega Aggron a leftovers recovery crazy on top of the reduced weakness of Earthquake and whatnot, and itself is just giving some of my mons another leftovers recovery on top of it. It's just,
your team loves grassy terrain.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's fun. That's the one thing I find is it's a little bit dependent on it, but it doesn't completely need it, right?
It's a really nice bonus.
Yeah, it's a very great bonus. I like it a lot.
Also, let's not forget Choice Band Woodhammer. Destroys
Oh my
stuff.
god. I think it's
Taking
stupid.
70% off Magearna? Like, insane.
Yeah,
Oh,
like,
what?
steel types don't switch in. Like, you throw in Metagross, it takes 70 from Woodhammer. You're like, what?
What? Yeah, it's insane.
What resist?
Yeah,
Steel types are not a resist to
Choice
Bulu,
Band,
like, fun
yeah.
fact.
it's so strong, man. Like, just so destructive. Like, I think it goes up to like 500, almost 600 attack just
Yeah.
with the Choice Band.
Then you get that a
Grassy
band.
Train on top of it.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Like, I fell in love with this one so much.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you guys
having
think? Sorry, go ahead, Albert.
No, I'm just having a hard time finding something that breaks through this team.
Right.
Me too.
Yeah.
Like, it's insane.
I
I'd
just
give
like,
it a...
one thing I want to mention as well is like, class is not really Rain Mon. It's just having that spikes, like suicide lead, is also like I just had that in mind just as like stab, and then I guess I don't know if it gets anything else than spikes, but it's kind of whatever anyway.
It's Destiny Bond.
Willow Wisp,
like that.
Taunt.
Like-
It's pretty good.
Discount Bennett. There you go. We're set.
Yeah, but
Easy.
like with stuff like Pelipper Bulu, you're always gonna be forcing switches and forcing people to take like spikes damage. Every switch that's pretty good, right?
I know what
Yeah.
I know what potentially breaks this team, and it's my boy Embor does pretty decently against it.
Oh yeah.
Not with 2 fighting resists and an aggron. No, you're not.
Well, like you just flare blitz,
Logic.
right?
Flare Blitz, what? This is Rain, man.
I don't think like I actually think Aggron takes negative from M more Flare Blitz in Rain.
In the rain, yeah, it's
yeah,
a
and
resist.
then you just superpower. I know it won't kill, but like
Yeah.
It
No, I
won't
got
kill,
what you're
man.
if it's
This is aggron.
chipped, if it's weak,
Ah.
I don't know. But do you guys think this is an A draft? I think it's close, if not A.
I think it's an A draft.
I think it's kind of
I'll be
sketchy
honest.
how both hosts are getting A tiers. You know what I mean? But I think it's an A draft.
Thank you.
Like I genuinely do.
This draft is phenomenal. This is like an insanely good like Rain team because it does not struggle with any of Rain's weaknesses, and it boosts its own strengths. Like like every teammate abuses their strengths and their support for the rest of the team so well. Like perfect, like almost perfectly, everything abuses each other so nicely, and like you're not gonna struggle with a single grass type. Like you have so many ways to break all the grass types. You have 2 poison types. You have Bulu, which can grass types. Manaphy is an amazing Z captain. Like Specs Pelipper is free to use. Like you're not gonna struggle with any of Rain's issues. Like this is an A draft.
Like I like to think about it as not a Rain team, but like a team that really likes Rain. It's not dependent on Rain to function.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if you look at Michael's team, like not to put him on the spot or anything, but that's like a pure Rain team, right? This is just like
Yeah, it's
a
Rain
team-
hyper offense.
Yeah, but this is like just a balanced team that loves Rain.
Yes.
So yeah,
agree
I
with
give
you.
it an A. Not much breaks through it. I'm really having a hard time thinking
Do you
about
think
it.
this deserves an A plus? Like, do you see any glaring flaw with this draft?
RNG. Next
Orange. Oh,
Only mods get that as an argument because only mods get hacked.
Yeah. XD.
You know what? Like looking at this, like what flaw is there?
Okay, I'm really hesitant to give anything an A plus.
I am too, but do you see anything that holds it back from A plus?
I'm dead.
Like my biggest concern is how well Aggron will be able to sponge Spadef on the
Yeah.
Spadef side. Because it's definitely not as bulky on that side. But even still, he has Dragology for that.
He has a Spadef wall, and a really good one at that. Like Charizard, like if someone had Charizard Wire picks it up later, he has an answer to that in Dragology,
Yeah.
which is
Like,
one
I-
of Rain's biggest issues.
I don't want to give it an A plus. No offense, Steve. I love your draft,
It's
but
understandable. Like, I won't give an A plus myself either, but
yeah.
that's just me not wanting to.
But it's close,
feel like
dude.
I'm perfect.
I'm really looking forward to my battle with you, week 6.
I don't want to do it.
I personally don't see like an issue with this draft. Like I'm like hovering between A and A plus. Like this is A plus worthy, but I'm not sure if I give it. Well, if it is worthy, I'm giving it A plus. I'm gonna go out there. I'm just gonna give it A plus. It's worth it.
I'll give it
this
an
is
A for
phenomenal.
now, but it's the only A I've given so far, I think. So
Um,
good on you.
since Steve is not going to be rating, I'll give it an A as well. I just think Bulu, Pelipper, it's great. I'm actually like Albert. I'm not the hugest fan of Aggron Mega, but
What are you guys gonna believe after this season?
Manaphy is a busted mon with like Tailglow is just busted, so like it's a good team. Like there's no arguing against it, and I don't think Huntel is good. I think it's lucky.
You'll eat your words. You guys will all eat your words. Steve's gonna show you all.
Let's go. Let's move on to Kevin though, because
Okay.
the way he drafted, I was there and he showed me. This is literally what he did. He opened DPP OU viability rankings and went by that.
I can definitely see it.
I can see it. Yeah.
I love how he sniped Swampert. I'm pretty sure that's unintentional as well.
No, that was intentional as heck. Like he saw 2 rain squats and he's like, nah.
No,
neither of you are getting Mega Swampert.
If it's DPP, then Swampert was like pretty good in DPP, so I can definitely see it being unintentional.
I do like Swampert base too. Like a lot of people were surprised that he didn't take the Mega form, but like I think the base form is really good too. Especially if you play UU, then you know it's like you know what it does. It's annoying. It's there.
I loved using it in season 6.
Sick.
Yeah.
Very good.
It's thick.
Really good lead rocker.
I think what Kevin showed with this draft, like you don't see it immediately on paper, but if you were there, this showed how much drafting skill he had. He very carefully saw what other people picked, and he picked Mons accordingly. Like he probably had other primary options he wanted to go for, but he picked things that would fit better in his conference metagame, if you get what I mean. Like his rain matchup is like stupidly good. Like
true.
Like this is like all the stuff he has is the bane of rain, like
Sceptile,
Gyarados. He's gonna fight a Coco rain team, so he has Raichu Alola to just. He has 2 grass types. Decidueye is the second one.
Even his fire type has a pretty decent rain matchup. If you can get behind
it does if you run Subtoxic.
Yeah, I was gonna say Subtoxic puts in work versus rain.
Yeah, he very clearly listened to what other people drafted, and he picked Mons accordingly.
Yeah. Personally, I like this draft, honestly. It's got a lot going for it.
His hazard removal. Oh, he has Decidueye with Defog.
Decidueye with Defog. And Swellow gets
and that is a good hazard remover.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has very good type synergy.
What about Behia? That thing's gotta be
Behia? I wanted this one. I got sniped from it. He sniped this one last round.
Really?
Yeah, I wanted this one because it has analytic. And its special attack is 125.
Yeah.
And look at how slow it is. This thing's almost always going second. So, like, by the way, fun fact: a Psyshock from this thing with specs, with analytic, one-shots Lele.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
this thing hits like a truck. I wanted it, and I didn't get it. I'm upset.
Something that we never really talked about before. You mentioned it when you were talking about Steve's team, how no one has Zard. No one has Lele either in this conference. And we never actually discussed anyone's team in terms of like what actually has been drafted. I'm not really sure if it applies to Kevin in particular, but like I don't know, maybe without a Lele, like his team is better, or because of that, I don't know. I don't know why I even brought that up.
But like Lele runs through his team,
It's a good thing to bring up.
Well, I mean, he can run like Chopal Heatran.
Yeah, but
with Flash Cannon.
Yeah, but then you're forcing Heatran to run Chopal Berry when it can run like leftovers really well. Like it.
Well, I mean, if it beats a Lele, I'll take it.
Yeah, but like
I find like having Heracross and Swellow, like those are really valuable picks.
Yeah, especially Heracross. I love Heracross.
Heracross is amazing. Because both of them can. They're really versatile.
Yeah.
Like Heracross can do Guts or Scarf. You can even do
Banded.
One Banded, yeah.
Yeah, that's that old
same thing. Guts or Specs or whatever you want to do, right? It's very unpredictable.
It is an unpredictable one, and it's nice how it can wall break or sweep with Scarf Moxie.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah, I love Scarf Moxie. Yeah. Oh, I can run Salak Berry too.
Oh yeah.
Sorry to bring that up, Martin.
The old set.
But yeah, I love Swellow too, just because it can hit from both physical, special, and has a great speed tier, which this team really appreciates, in my opinion.
By the way, his draft actually punishes electric type so hard. He has so many electric resists, immunities, and like electric terrain. Like he has an electric terrain abuser. So like he drafted Swampert, which is like, and Swallow, which are like really vulnerable to fast electric types. But he has so many means of getting back momentum and just beating them. Like he doesn't worry about that, so he can really abuse things like Gyarados and Swallow.
Yeah. And one more thing I want to touch on, I love how Gyarados is a Z captain. With Z Fly and Moxie, that's just insane sweeping potential right there.
You can also run Z Fire Blast if you want to break through like a Ferrothorn or something.
Yeah, or like a Scarm. Like I don't there's no Scarm in this conference, but you get what I mean.
He didn't make the same mistake Alir did last time, where he Z captained Decidueye. But yeah.
Yo, no hate against the guy, but I really don't understand that decision. Like,
it's because he has a signature move, Sinister Shadow Raid or whatever.
Yeah, Sinister Shadow Raid. Yeah.
Gyarados is sick. It's so good.
Yeah, that's such a good choice for a Z captain too.
Yeah,
like I really respect that. I'm still sad I didn't get Swampert.
All right, ratings. Anyone?
Okay, I think I've been giving too many A's out. Like, there's been 2 A's already.
Yeah, I don't know if this is an A, but it's
I'm
good.
sorry. I'm sorry, Kevin. I like your draft. I give it a B+ though. It's very solid. You know what I mean? Like, it's good. Yeah. It's got a lot of stuff going for it, but I feel like it could be a little bit better.
I feel like what completes this team would be a really good dark type. He doesn't have it, and like, there's so many cores he's missing out on just not having that dark type. Like, he has a fighting type, he has the psychics. He just doesn't have a dark type. Like, that'd be really cool for him to have. This team's really good at covering each other's weaknesses, and he showed really good draft skill in seeing, what are some good counterpick mons to whatever I have to go up against. So I really respect that. I would give it a B+ because of how well the draft has made it and how he really paid attention to what other people do. It can be an A- if he really takes advantage of these trade-ins and gets like a good dark type.
Actually, on that note, I kind of want to see a fairy type on this roster. He doesn't have a fairy type at all. I just think fairy's the best. I think fairy is the best stab in the game right now. So, yeah, that's my opinion.
Yeah. I really do think he deserves the B+ for sure. Coverages really help each other out, and he was very smart and like he did it, and then just having like I said, having Gyarados as a Z captain clean through teams, like I feel like it's another it's similar to Sharpedo, where it's a very good cleaner.
Yeah,
if you can keep it late game. If you can pull it off, and I see him definitely being successful through draft. Like I hope it works out for him. Like I definitely think B+ is worthy for his team.
All right. So the next team is actually our reigning champion, the Monotype Daddy, I think his nickname is.
Yep.
I wonder if he used the same strat, because last time his strat was, I'm going to pick the best Monotype mons, and it worked out really well. I guess, possibly, he did the same thing again, except maybe Smeargle, I don't know. But
I actually talked to him about his draft. Like, last season, he didn't actually draft according to what's good in Monotype. Like, he had some ideas about mons that are good that we didn't really know about, like some offensive synergy. Like, he drafted really good offensive synergy, kind of unintentionally, but like with some intention to it as well.
Yeah.
This one, he said he wanted to draft around Z Happy Hour Jirachi, but
on
four, get played, man.
So he drafted around that, and then he realized later, right, we don't have Omni Z moves.
I know, he said, but one thing I don't agree with, he said that it's not S without Z Celebrate or Happy Dance or whatever it's called.
I disagree with him on that.
I think it's like S-, but like
it's an S-mon. Like, come on.
No, it's an S-mon. That's a discussion for another day.
Yeah,
it's still good. Let's put it that way. Okay, I'm just gonna be honest here. For a returning champion, this draft is sort of disappointing.
Really?
Okay,
it's a bad draft. I'm not gonna lie.
Whoa, I don't know about that.
Like, he has some mons that people will struggle to deal with. Like, I don't know if it's out of knowledge or if it's just like people not knowing how to deal with like Shell Smash. It is kind of tricky to deal with.
It
like
is.
Cloyster Breloom is really cool offensively. Cloister is really only stopped by Bulky Waters, and Breloom's Bullet Seed can run through those. He has web support, which is really cool. He has rock setters for sure, but like Shedin just kind of here like randomly. Suicune is like kind of out of place here because like his whole team was hyper offensive, and then he just has like
Specs
Batmon. Like, I don't like this draft.
I'm not the fan of Doug Trio either.
Draft.
Doug
that's the word I'd use to describe it. Awkward. Yeah. It's an awkward draft.
I don't like how it gets torn apart by Bolt Beam as well.
It lacks defensive synergy. It's the mistake I made in season 6. Like I drafted according to some kind of synergy, but I completely neglected type synergy.
Yeah.
And I paid the price for it. So
yeah, like it's just like you said, it's just very awkward. Like I don't know how to feel about it.
There's no hazard removal.
There's no complete cores either.
Yeah, like you can be that guy and run like Rapid Spin Smirgle.
Or Cloister. But, yeah.
Or Defog Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl gets a Defog
like
too, so.
There's no like
just
dedicated hazard removal, but I think Breloom's really good and Cloister's really good, and I think those two Mons alone will net him wins like on their own.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Especially with Shell Smash, right? Such a good move.
And Serene Grace, maybe that's worth a win probably as well.
Just off the back of pure RNG.
Yeah,
that's all he needs.
Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about it. Like, what is Duck Trio actually? Well, I guess Duck Trio can trap like Heatran.
Like since he
for Jirachi.
Yeah, but like
we did trap's banned now, so like
no, not in draft though.
Not in draft.
Never mind.
We didn't ban it. Well, but like if you're going up against Junaid and you have Heatran, you're probably going to run Shed Shell.
Yeah, that's the thing. He has no knockoff user to get rid of that Shed Shell.
Right? Yeah. Like you said, it just seems cobbled like together. It doesn't feel like a cohesive draft, if that makes sense.
There's just no synergy. Like and like web support. That's like the only synergy I really see. Like I guess he'll rely on Aerodactyl to do the wall breaking, which it can do given the right moves. But like he lacks a lot of synergy. He was kind of just drafting while playing a monotype tournament. Maybe that affected his decision making.
Honestly,
the monotype tournament. Okay, I'll talk about that later. I completely forgot about it.
Just one thing. It just feels like it almost feels like this is his first draft, if that makes sense. Just picking mons that he likes.
Yeah, that's what the team feels like.
It looks like that kind of draft. Yeah, I can see what you mean.
Like the third pick Smeargle, like
I don't know, it's very awkward, yeah.
Like it has a lot of glaring weaknesses, a lot of lack of type synergy, a lot of really poor roll compression. It doesn't seem like a very carefully thought out draft at all. It's kind of just like, oh, I need to pick 9 mons. I want to give it like
just like half-assed it.
Yeah, it feels really half-assed. You're right. That's the word. Yeah. That's the word.
Like, no offense to the guy, but yeah.
It's really exploitable. I'd give it a C to a reigning champion. That kind of sucks. If he gets like a fire type and he rounds out his roll compression, like I can see this team doing a lot better. But like the way it is now, it's really poor.
Yeah, pretty much it. Just like because he's got a pedigree now. He's the reigning champion. He went undefeated.
He did go undefeated last season.
Yeah, the guy's a monster. But to come back to this season with this, to come back into this season with this kind of draft, I'm sort of disappointed, dude. Yeah. I'd give it a C, honestly. Same reasons.
Yeah. I'd give him like a C plus myself. Like he does have the mons to put in work. Like I said, he really needs to like do something. Like if not in pickups, his team a bit, because if not, then I think he's going to have a really hard time draft.
I haven't been rating, but like I don't know. I like this team a little bit more than you guys. I think it's at least a B- personally, but I don't know why. Like I think Cloister in general it's so scary. Like you can lose a game on a whim when Cloister like comes in safely and on like in the right situation. But we should move on to the last but not least of the co-hosts here, Aabrar. The first.
Don't know.
This team's actually amazing too. Like, what's with the co-hosts having some of the best teams, right?
This will feel rigged if I give you another A, though.
Yeah. Hey, no one gave
Just
me
give
an
what
A
it deserves,
last
you know?
time.
Like,
Where's my
But-
A? I got B's all around.
Well, it is B season.
True.
But, like,
Maybe a B
B's-
is better than A.
Yeah, true. B is new
exactly.
A. First thing I see is that 3 Mon core at the start. Sizor, Zygarde, Volcanion. That is disgusting type synergy.
Yeah, type synergy is so good. Like,
Absolutely disgusting.
Aabrar, give us some insight on, like, Coco got sniped, and like that was the key to a majority of your plans, I'm assuming. I'm sure you had a backup plan though. Like,
this was actually 99% my backup plan. I pretty much got everything I wanted except I didn't get Behem. I got Duosion instead. This one was like before I used to draft offensive synergy. This one was just all type synergy, like defensively. Scizor and Zygarde. I started with this OU core because in OU typically Scizor beats stuff like Landorus with like an HP ice, and then Zygarde just goes in once the physical pivot's weakened, right? And then I realized I have 2 really common double weaknesses. So I drafted Volcanion, which quad resists the 2 most common hidden powers in draft, fire and ice.
Yeah.
I had the idea of drafting a Skarn Bliss core. Like I went full bulky this draft. Togekiss and Miltank is like a Skarn Bliss core, but the normal and the normal resist are swapped in their roles. Like I quad resist fighting with Togekiss. And I have a ghost immunity with Miltank, which is cool. And I just got like an electric pivot with U-turn because I wanted something to remind me that I'm good with electric types. So I got Electros. Yeah. And then I'd wanted like a Pokemon that could lure stuff and beat things that could normally destroy me. And, you know, Zoroark is like literally a lure mon.
True.
Then I picked up a spinner and grass type and Sarina, and then I needed a psychic type, and Steve loves Duosion, so I picked up Duosion.
I love Duosion so much.
I think it's good.
Yeah, it's probably
great.
Yeah.
I think it's solid draft.
I usually hate quad weaknesses because of the hidden power predicament, but I think it's interesting that you have 3 different quad weaknesses. They kind of cover each other, and it's like your opponent has to choose which one do they want to cover, and maybe at that point, maybe on your end, it's kind of obvious which one they're going to do. I don't know, but
yeah, that's actually what I went into this with mentality.
It really mitigates the like quad weaknesses when you have more than one, and like especially since like I don't think HP Fire on like a defensive Scizor depends on who's using it, but like I think Scizor can eat those on occasion.
Scizor has good SPDF. Well, like for a physical wall, it's got good SPDF. Yeah, I just want to talk like just so much about that disgusting synergy at the start.
Yeah.
How do you break through?
Yeah, synergy's so good. Like, did for sure.
Oh no, Life Orb Coco breaks through that core, but like there's only one Coco, right?
Yeah.
And even then, you have like stuff like Electros, which sort of walls Coco as well, especially an AV set, which you could also run. Yeah, I'm actually a huge fan of this draft, and I'm terrified to play versus it. That's why I keep on postponing my matches.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a hype game.
Yeah, that's tomorrow night. Catch it.
I think Albert has apparently one of the best drafts. So like, let's see if you can handle that amazing core.
I have a really fun game plan against him, and my game plan is basically make Albert want to smash his head against the keyboard.
That's usually my game plan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure that's what usually Albert's team
makes other people do.
Yeah, facilitates.
So
that's the word I'm looking for.
So I guess you guys have to give a rating now, and I'm not gonna rate my own team.
Yeah.
It's sketchy. I don't want to give you an A because both of the co-hosts already have A's.
Just give it honestly what you think it deserves, man.
Well, honestly, I think it's at least an A minus, if not an A. Just that core is disgusting. You have everything you could want. Miltank is a little bit of a weakness when it comes to rock setting, but otherwise, it's still pretty good mon.
I agree with you on the Miltank, yep.
You got Wish Passing, you got Pivots, you got Zoroark, which is a great lure mon, and Rapid Spin, and Defog if you need it, on 2 different mons. I like
we
this
didn't
draft.
talk about Serena, but that's a good mon. Like,
it's a very good
and it offers a lot for your team, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I'd give it an A as well because like I really don't see any strong noticeable weaknesses in anything. Like every mon can cover each other so well, both defensively and offensively, and you have so many pivots. Like you have really good Volturn with Scizor and Electros. Like I just find like slower Volturn is good, especially in draft, just to be able to pivot after someone might switch out. And like I said, this draft really deserves an A.
Yeah.
What do you think, Martin?
I'm trying to like not give it an A, but like
I'm too good, man. You can't just not give me an A.
No. I'm gonna give it an A as well because like Togekiss is just it's amazing. Like I love Togekiss, and Scizor is like such a great partner for it as well. Or rather, Togekiss is kind of a good partner for Scizor, and like you have multiple ways to remove hazards for Volcanion. And Zygarde is just has so many different sets it can run, band, not home claws, coil or like dragon dance, whatever. Like it's great. And then your low tier picks like Milk Tank and Serena are awesome as well. And I'm not a believer of Zoroark, to be honest. I don't think it's that good. Um, if you make 200 IQ plays, then it's pretty good. But yeah, I'll give it an A as well.
I just want to say one more thing before we move on.
Yeah.
If I bring Duosion to a game, don't sleep on it. There's a reason why I brought it.
Please don't bring it against me.
Yeah, so with that, all three co-hosts have an A. It's pretty sketchy.
Biased. It's scripted.
Yeah.
I honestly just rated teams as it was. Like I didn't think, this person's
that's what you want. That's what you want the audience.
Well,
to
I
think.
mean, I know.
I'm being honest.
Last time you didn't want to rate mine, and then you ended up telling me I got a B. So like, obviously, you're just rating whatever. Like, it doesn't matter who it is.
Yeah. No, I understand. It's just a little bit sketchy, you know.
We're on Kylor, the last person in the conference, and this is another team 10 mon roster, which is pretty unique. That's the first thing I noticed. It's a longer list, and unlike who was it, Scott? There's a lot of good mons here, and it doesn't feel like, where'd the points go? Like, this is a good large roster.
Yeah, totally agree.
His roster is so disgustingly bulky in some spots, like Feeny, Arcanine, Registeel, Garbodor. That is fat. And Piloswine is bulky too with an Eviolite. There's a lot of bulk on this team.
Can we talk about that AFK core? It's that VGC core. Arcanine, Kartana, and Tapu Fini. That's the most common VGC core in the game right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
It's called the AFK so clean.
Core. Yeah, so he might be a VGC player.
He is a VGC player. Like I've known him for a while.
That makes sense.
Because we scrimmed a few times, and his team is very hard to break through. Even Registeel and Fini alone are very good together.
Yeah.
Can I just say something about Registeel? If he's Spit Deaf and you bring Focus Blast, it's not weak to fighting. It's not. Like, it will eat it for breakfast. It's like 3-hit KO'd, and you have to factor in a miss rate, so it's like a 4-hit KO. Like, what? And it gets, you can run a rest with, Chesto Berry, and just heal it all back. So nice. 8 Focus Blast to kill me. You run out of them. Oh, by the way, he has Hawlucha.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what does Misty Seed do? Because I'm actually not familiar. I'm assuming
it's plus Spidef.
It's +1 is Spidef, yeah.
Yeah.
So he can run Bulk Up, or just Swords Dance, and make us all cry.
And definitely, if he needs to, he can run in coverage moves like Poison Jab for fairies, right? We saw that on a different game. I don't remember which one, but yeah, lots of coverage options available. I'm a huge fan of that core.
I want to see Como in action as well.
Yeah, that's an interesting pick.
Yeah.
He drafted last season as well. I'm not sure if he actually used it or not. But...
I don't remember seeing it, but maybe.
Yeah, I don't remember either, but could be a value pickup. Sure.
I'm normally very cautious about drafting a Dragon because Misty Terrain does weaken Dragon Stab.
Oh, that's right.
I just
Yeah,
wish it
that's something to
had
be careful
better
about.
fighting stat, honestly, instead of like
Yeah.
Sky Uppercut or whatever it gets.
It does get Sky Uppercut.
Oh, he did the Rotom S. That's the bad one, right?
It's the triple levitate one.
Electric flying with levitate, yeah.
And a balloon, obviously.
Is that a 10 points? Please tell me that's a D minus.
No, I think it's a C minus.
Okay, that's
We were talking
questionable.
what we wanted to get. I'm pretty sure it was C minus.
The typing, okay, I know it gets a lot of flack for being the worst Rotom, but that typing is good.
Yeah,
Like, we
Yeah,
can't
that's
underestimate that typing.
It's just gets levitate and flying type, you know.
Yeah, the ability is a waste, but like the Mon itself is not, meme level with Delibird. It's
No,
better than that.
Yeah,
good.
I already regret saying it should be D minus.
A concern I have is his grass type is Kartana, so it's not bulky
Well,
on the special side at all.
Yeah.
On the physical side, it's like kinda bulky at most. Piloswine is his main electric immunity and like way of dealing with electric types, and it's only a temporary answer and it's very lurable.
Yeah.
So electric types are a very big problem for his team.
Good, bring that up. Yeah.
Thankfully, in draft there aren't too many strong electric types, but if he comes across a Coco or he comes across like
Steve's
a Zapdos, Steve's Jolteon, he's gonna struggle with those the way they are now. So maybe if he trades in or like gets like a second ground type or like a bulky grass, if he gets a bulky grass, that complements his Feeny, Arcanine, Registeel core so nicely.
Yeah, for sure.
I think his team is going to be very good with like wearing teams down with hazards.
Yeah.
Hazard, like with Garbodor and I think Piloswine gets Stealth Box and Registeel.
Yep. Registeel gets it though.
But, like just having like every single hazard besides like Sticky Webs, I think very good for his team, especially since it's more bulky. And with both Kartana and Hawlucha, two really strong like setup sweepers there. And
yeah, he's really good
weaken
cleaners.
a bit, like he can definitely like run through.
You shouldn't forget, Kamo can sweep too. It gets Autotomized. It gets it get Dragon Dance?
It gets Dragon Dance. Like
it can clean on its own right, and it's actually really bulky.
Yeah, I don't believe in Como just because I think it's terrible because of fairy types, but it can definitely function as a late game cleaner.
I mean, he has the epitome of fairy resist.
Registeel.
I was just gonna say, I don't think he really he's missing a little bit of special attacking presence. I think Como O and maybe like I guess Rotom S are like his only special attackers because like I don't.
He doesn't have like a Latios or type like some like that level of special wall breaking.
Yeah, like
I agree.
Yeah.
He can overcome it though because Feeny can lure and break special walls. Whether it be through Nature's Madness Taunt, it can even run a Whirlpool.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna bring that up.
I'm really excited to see how Feeny performs in draft. I feel like it hasn't been used to its fullest potential yet. I'm really excited to see what sets he brings with Feeny because Feeny has a lot more utility and a lot more variety in what it can do than what most people think.
And Steve said that he is a VGC player, which actually could play into that of bringing sets that maybe people haven't seen or expect.
True.
I think VGC will
forward to it.
Definitely gonna look forward to seeing some cool berry tech. Honestly, I can see that happening with like Hawlucha, just because I think berries are used in VGC. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
yeah, definitely. So, does anyone have a rating for this team?
This is a really solid draft, in my opinion. Like, has an electric weakness, but like, let's be real, I have one too. But you can overcome your electric weakness, and he has resist. Like, Como can check electric types if need be. And his Piloswine, which is on its own right a very sturdy ground type. So like, he does have like a kind of a weakness to electrics, but they're not too common in draft, and he has ways around them anyway. Really good defensive core, 3 really good cleaners, good pivots. Like, nothing really like the team doesn't abuse anything super hard, but it's solid, and I think that spells out like a B or B plus draft. I'd give it a B plus, just how sturdy this team is.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. B plus. I love that AFK core. I like Halucha, especially paired with the Tapu. I think it's good, just good overall, honestly.
Yeah, like I'd give it a B myself, honestly. Like it does have good synergies with his team, but I find like he also has like this as well, which there's chances that hindering him, but I'm not sure how well like BGC transfers to singles. Like he's done well like, in one, and I'm pretty sure he's won season 5, but that was with like a completely more offensive team.
Yeah.
With this more bulkier team, we'll have to see. But
yeah,
I still think it'd be.
I'm not too sold on B plus either. I think it would be like I'm gonna say more like a B minus because like a lot of his bulky mons don't have reliable recovery. Like Fini or Registeel has to use rest. Arcanine's like the only one, but yeah,
Right.
I don't know. But I'm not gonna give an official rating because
Okay.
it's just not my style.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
That's everyone from Conference B.
Like the movie, yeah.
Like, okay, so the official name is Conference B and Conference B like the movie, B movie.
Be like the emoji and be like the movie.
Okay.
That's better.
Like the insect? Come on, guys.
Like the movie.
Okay,
Oh.
sure.
The
Wait,
movie's better than insect.
There's an insect based on the movie?
Oh shit, they made B movie into a real thing?
No. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, no. Okay, I think it's getting too late here. Like we're just
True.
Yeah.
talking nonsense.
One last question.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to finish top 4 in both conferences? Just predictions real quick.
Oh my god.
That's tough.
It's early to say, man.
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
is.
It's really early to say.
Yeah. It's
I'll
just
give
like
it-
based on
I'll give a prediction.
yeah.
I think it'll be for B movie conference. It'll be Albert, Aabrar, Steve, and Arif. And for my conference, I think it'll be Ethan, Julian, myself, and
Michelle.
Michelle. I was thinking Karnveer or Ramanan, but Michelle, yeah, she has such a good team. So that
Yeah, her team's
Both
really
conferences have a lot of
Yeah.
competition. That's why I want to say it's too early to say.
good. Yeah, like I feel like both conferences are gonna be really close. Like we're still in like week 1, so we don't know like how things are gonna spread out at this point.
This has a potential.
But I think if we do like weekly recaps, I think we'll start to have like better opinions on.
A lot of drafts have playoffs, and the ones that currently don't have, the ones that currently struggle a lot, have ways to fix up those weaknesses, and then become playoff worthy. So like I think this is gonna be a really exciting season.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of good drafts, and the ones that aren't so great can become really good.
Yeah. This has the potential to be super lit as a season, in my opinion.
This is it's gonna be a really cool season.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, and I think on that note, we'll wrap this podcast up. I'm pretty sure this one's gonna be really dang long, but we'll see.
It's like an hour and a half.
Everyone say bye.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye. See ya.
See ya.
See you next time.
Steve.
Yeah.